Hi, my name is Angela Dino, and I've currently lost about 20 pounds in the last 14 weeks. I started, I don't even know when it started, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago or something. The weight started to gradually pile on. And it actually started with a lot of stress in my life. And the stress was insidious. It started creating these problems for me. It wasn't only the weight, it was the pain. So slowly I was starting to feel swollen and inflamed, and I was going to the doctors with back problems and knee problems and tendon problems, and I was diagnosed with tendonitis, and I actually thought I had fibromyalgia because it was very difficult for me to get up in the morning and walk. I had to cancel vacations. I canceled time with my family because I couldn't walk. I would sit. I had friends who I'd go out to dinner with, and they'd drop me off at the front while they went and found a parking spot because they knew how difficult it was for me to walk in the parking lot.
Wow.
I had to change what I wore, shoes-wise, but nothing worked. Nothing worked. How many diets did I go on? Countless, countless. And the whole time I knew it wasn't the right thing. There's no way cardboard food, artificial colors and flavors were good for me. Yeah, they may make me lose weight, but so does not eating.
Right.
So does terminal illness. It makes you lose weight. It's your body's response to stress. So it wasn't a good idea for me to lose weight that way. I wanted to lose weight a healthy way, and every time I did lose weight, I would just gain it back again, and I would gain more. And they always say that that's going to happen to you, and it's totally true. I would lose 10 pounds and gain 15, and then I would lose 8 pounds and I'd gain 10 pounds, and I got to the point where I was afraid to diet at all. Then my husband told me about you and your center, and the thing that stood out for me was not just the weight loss part of it, but in fact your name should not be just Weight Loss Clinic. It should be Weight Loss and Feel Better Clinic, because, or Pain Management Clinic. Because honestly, there are a lot of people out there that don't get the two connected.
Although weight gain is always connected with pain.
And that makes sense that the weight, is bad for your knees and all that. But I didn't connect that what I was eating was detrimental to the inflammation, causing inflammation and all of that, headaches or insomnia, hormone imbalances. I thought going through menopause, hey, hormone imbalance is part of the game.
Right.
But how does food relate to hormones? It didn't connect for me.
Right.
And I remember when I first came here, limping as I was, and Ra was saying, you okay? And knowing I felt bad, and I'm feeling a little pessimistic, I have to say.
Sure.
I told Rawa that at this point, if you could just reduce my pain, if I could just walk, if I could get rid of the plantar fasciitis that I had at the time and the tendonitis, if that could happen, I would do anything. And I didn't care if I didn't lose an ounce.
Right, I remember that.
I didn't care. It wasn't even about the weight at that point. Because everyone can make you lose weight somehow. But who can take away the pain? The doctors couldn't.
Right.
Several surgeries couldn't.
Right.
All of the mechanical things I have at home and the straps and the bands and all that weren't doing it either. So hey, I was willing to try it for all of that. And immediately, I started seeing a lot of difference. I mean, immediately, the overall feeling of lethargy or fatigue or just getting out of bed. I was able to roll out of bed easier, just to that alone. And honestly, I will tell you, step by step, going down the stairs, thinking about it. Thinking about the no pain. Not the pain, the no pain.
Of course. I remember seeing you probably less than 2 weeks, maybe just 1 week after you had started.
Yeah.
And you told me the pain actually is getting better.
Yeah.
You were surprised. I was surprised too.
Yeah.
Because normally it should take probably about 4 weeks before it starts.
Made a huge difference.
Yeah.
Which alerted me to the fact that what was I eating before? I didn't think I was eating that poorly. but maybe I was.
Just maybe a little thing here and there was creating that inflammatory effect.
Right. And I had gone to the doctor because I was getting doctor consultation for the plantar fasciitis, and he told me, wow, he took an x-ray and they said, it's not going away. I'd had it since November. Started here in February. And he said, it's about as bad as it can get. He says, if we can't get this down with physical therapy, he said, you're gonna end up in a cast or a boot. And I'm thinking, okay, now what? I've got exercise to do, I've got to drive. How's that all gonna work for me? And I just put total faith in the system. And I did not go to physical therapy, not even one day. I did the first part before I started the diet, and then I didn't go again, just to see if it would work. I'm perfectly fine. There's not a problem that I have at all.
That's wonderful.
Not at all. And I don't know how that was going to go away. And I can walk, I can go upstairs, I can go downstairs one step at a time.
That's great.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. I had no guidance. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. And surgeries were the only options, or casting or booting, putting a boot, the standard stuff. But I'm thinking it's not just that, because once that's resolved, I just came out of surgery with my knee from tendonitis and all these different things going on. Once that goes away, there's going to be something else popping up. It's all very individual, it's very individualized, because my body's certainly not like anybody else's.
Sure.
So my body was responding in a different way. So I had other issues. But what was so nice is that I could come in and either talk to Annie, my fantastic life coach, to talk to her about it, and she would say, well, try this, do something different. Let me talk to the doctor. And you would say, okay, do this, do something a little bit different here. Maybe you're doing too much of this here, or less of this. And so those modifications worked. So, you know, it's not like it's a fantasy world where, oh, I'm losing weight consistently and I'm feeling perfect, and it you know, kind of I plateaued a little bit and up and down and so forth. But I know in general that I am so much healthier, and people have noticed. People notice it in my eyes, they notice in my face, not just my pants.
Right.
But speaking of that, my whole body is different. My body is shaping differently.
What did you think the program was about, and what did you actually experience?
I guess I thought it would be a little bit more structured. We actually had a little bit of freedom in terms of getting the foods that I needed to get. So I found out what my levels were, how many ounces of foods that I needed to get, and then I was allowed to experience the prep part of that. Is how can I make this work for me?
Right.
How can I, so it took a whole new shopping experience, a whole new storage experience, all that I was totally willing to do. And then what I loved is I loved the daily feedback. So even though it was a little, okay, then I had to plan, okay, now I've got to report back what I've eaten for the day, what time I went to bed, and all of that stuff. Knowing you needed that journal in order to determine whether or not what was working and what wasn't working,
Right.
It was a little bit more time consuming. So, but it was great because then I'd get a feedback from Annie right away saying, hey, maybe this is what's happening with that. Did you try this? And then it was immediate. So I didn't have to, and I didn't have to come back here and talk to you. But Annie's very knowledgeable. She reflects you. So, and of course, you're always there if I ever need to talk to you. So the support has been really great. Of course, and Wawa tells me I'm beautiful every time I walk in. So that's helpful too. The positive reinforcement, I need that. She's sweet. Everybody's been really good. They're very, very good here.
Excellent.
And the exercise is not over the top. It's really not. It's steadily increasing, and I'm working up to that. But it's closely monitored, so I'm not let loose in a gym somewhere going, what do I do? How many arm lifts do I do? How many leg lifts? What do I do?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's all connected and it's all part of a huge package. So I feel like I'm just have been picked up and put into a totally different lifestyle, a totally different world. Heard a lot of people saying I couldn't do that, it just takes too much work, I don't eat breakfast in the morning, it's too expensive or whatever. And it's like, you have to prioritize what's important in your life and stop making excuses, because it's like a domino effect. And if you can actually get rid of all the excuses and just focus on getting healthy, then your priorities definitely change, and those dominoes fall differently. So you have to decide, and but you have to commit. So it's like I say, I'm a speech therapist. It's the same with any kind of therapy. If you're not willing to put forth any effort, it just falls on and by the wayside, and nothing gets done. But if you're willing to commit, then go for it. Go for it gung ho, and do absolutely everything that you're supposed to. And then see what happens, because you will be amazed. You will be amazed. If you could do like 1 week trial, and I think you do that sometimes with your patients. You just say, you know what, just try this and see what you feel. Or you know what, go ahead and have those brownies. Go ahead and eat them, and then you give me a call and tell me how you feel.
Right. Amazing.
You tell people that, but really, you have to commit. So don't give excuses. There need to be no excuses, and you need to be 100% invested in it. But prioritize, because I don't know any higher priority than your health.
Absolutely.
I don't, because I have kids. Great, and your kids are going to so profit from you feeling good at the end of the day that you want to actually play with them and do their homework, and you're not fatigued. It's too expensive. Oh, really? Do you know how much we've saved not going out to dinner and eating all the garbage and drinking all that wine?
You know, a lot of patients tell me that their food grocery bill is about 50% now.
Is it?
Yes, they eat less.
I eat less. We only eat 2 meals a day now. We don't need to eat anymore. So I know that we're eating better, and that we're eating what we're supposed to be eating anyway, so what's the point? And the trash is less because they're not throwing away all those cardboard boxes. I can't think of an excuse where this is not a good reason to change those excuses. Right. I don't have the time. I don't either. I work full-time, my husband works full-time. We make it work because it's important. It's our life.
Of course. I'm with you.
I'm glad you are.
Yes, 100%.